Hey, you guys. Welcome to Faith and Fire, God and Country. I am Branden LaNette, and if you are coming over here from Boiling Point, first of all, thank you. I love you, and I know this looks a little different. It feels different. Um, I'm not going to sugarcoat what has happened. Boiling Point is done. Last Thursday, I sat down with a co host to record like any other episode. He came into the episode knowing that he was done, didn't say a word about it till we stopped recording. So it made it obvious that, there was no plan for a goodbye to the audience, no send off, nothing. That's how it's ended. And that's his business. Our business is to bless and release. And my mission doesn't end there. Okay. Faith and Fire is mine, has always been mine. This is my show, my voice, my convictions. I'm not gonna lie, do like I said, it feels really weird doing it solo, and I have other shows, and it's just it's weird, right? I'm not gonna pretend it's not weird. Um, and what my husband said today before he left is, I'm like, why does it feel so weird? And he's like, because you had training wheels, you weren't alone. I know when I first spoke out against things that were happening, when I really found my voice when it came to getting into politics, something I've never been a fan of. And I've never put a line in the sand to say this is what I am. I've always voted for policies that lined up with core ethics and values. Apparently, for some reason, a lot of people didn't think my values lined up biblically. Maybe I just haven't represented my relationship with Christ enough on social media. So a lot of people were shocked and I got a lot of hate. So I will say, while I know I've been called to steward the voice and to have the show, training wheels, I think, were a necessity for me to feel brave enough to come out here um, and do it solo. But you guys, the show is for you and it's for me because every episode I'm learning something new. I'm growing and I'm digging into shit that people told us was crazy, 5 years ago. I was crazy for a lot of things. And now it's all come out as truth. And it's like front page news today. Um, all of the conspiracy theories I've believed have become true. And I really, we can't stay quiet anymore. So if you want to continue with the faith forward commentary on what's happening in the world, welcome home. This is Faith and Fire, God and Country. And today, um, I should have had my headlines pulled up here. Okay. Everyone is freaking out. It is Tuesday. Um, our president put a message out today, but I want to remind you guys um, to remember how we got here. Okay. Uh, Hillary Clinton sent uranium to Iran. Obama handed billions of dollars to them. I don't know the exact number. If that was the 144 billion or that's how much uranium they got. I don't know the numbers exactly. But he gave that to them, and Biden unfroze over 16 billion for them. But now, like, everybody is blaming Trump. Okay. And big mad, everybody. The left is mad, half the right is mad. And the media is doing what the media does. And the whole internet has turned into a bunch of foreign policy experts overnight. And I want you guys to hear me on this. Okay. Nobody wants to talk about how we got here. Nobody. Because if we actually have that conversation, your favorite politicians on both sides start looking really, really dirty. Okay. And this stuff is verified, okay, on the record. Obama, 1.7 billion in cash flown to Iran on pallets in the middle of the night. That is not a conspiracy theory. That happened. That's documented. Biden's administration unfroze billions in Iranian assets, also documented. You can go to Google and check that out. So for years, we have been funding the very regime that everybody's now panicking about. And nobody said a word. Nobody's in the streets. Nobody's crying on TikTok. Everyone's fine with it because the right president was doing it. But now everybody has a problem. Now it's a crisis. Baby, it was always a crisis. You were just comfortable. You're just comfortable. And I going down the rabbit hole, the Hillary uranium thing, okay? Um it is a rabbit hole, and I need to do more research on that. Okay. Um, so I don't know the specific numbers. I don't know verified how much she gave them, but I know that it happened. Okay. And all of this truth is incredibly damning. So my president right now inherits a fucking mess that three administrations built, and now he's the bad guy for cleaning it up. Like, that's not how this works. And I follow these influencers. I follow these people that have a big platform. You guys are like, you just don't get it. You don't get it. All right. Um, Sean Ryan posted uh, talking about Trump, how he said he was going to liberate the Iranian people from an evil regime. And Sean also said now he has changed his plan to kill them all. The president of the United States in a nutshell. Okay. That's what he said. And I want to talk about this because this is the part that should make your ears pick up. I liked Sean Ryan. I don't now. I don't respect him. I think he's a sellout. And I know a lot of people do like him because he built his platform on being the guy who brings the truth, special ops, military insider stuff, like all of that, right? And now he's tweeting that Trump went from liberation to murder, and that's a big accusation. That's a really big, ridiculous swing for someone who is influencing people. But did you guys actually read what Trump said? It's not like he's not giving these people chances. I read it. Trump said he doesn't want a civilization to die. He said that. He said maybe something wonderful can happen now that the regime change is on the table. He said, God bless the great people of Iran. That does not sound like a man who wants to kill everybody. He has been the president of peace in a way that no other president has brought peace. He's done that. He doesn't want this to happen. What is he going to do now? Oh, hey, sorry for everything, guys. I guess if you don't want to go for that, we're going to walk away. What does that do to the credibility of the United States? He is the leader right now. This is a man. God, pray for him. And that is your job. I don't care if you like him. Do any of you really know him as a person, or do you know the mask that's put on for the public? Right? Either way, I'm called to pray for my leadership. This sounds like a man who understands that sometimes you have to break the structure to free the people inside of it. And this is where it gets interesting for me because I'm telling you guys, okay, I need you to follow the money. Follow the money. You can see the people that Israel buys and pays for, right? That's who they've bought. Everybody wonders about Trump with Netanyahu, whatever his name is. I haven't found a money trail connecting those two. I feel like it's always been keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. I think that's the deal there. And it's a lesser of two evils for our president as well. But I want you guys to see where money's going. And like, look at people like Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, Qatar funding, the pivot to attack Israel, and then Trump. I'm not telling you that I have gotten to the core of the gospel truth. I'm asking questions, okay? So let me ask you some questions. Why did certain commentators, people who were ride or die MAGA, and you can find a lot of them right now, okay? Who were the brothers? There's brothers that I listen to. I guess this is where I need a second voice for my brain when it decides to not remember stuff. Anyway, all these ride or die MAGA, they suddenly pivot the second that Iran became the target. Why is the outrage so coordinated? And go look at these accounts. It is. Why are people who made their entire careers defending Trump suddenly sounding like CNN? Follow the money. That is not dramatic. That's literally the oldest investigative principle in the world. Follow the money. If someone is funded, okay, and Nick Shirley has pointed out how some of these people have been paid off by Iran. All the money that your last presidents gave to them was a big money laundering system, okay, to fund terrorists and to line the pockets of people who have sold their souls in the United States. If someone is funded by a foreign interest, that foreign interest is threatened by what Trump is doing, what do you think that person is going to say on their platform? Are they going to cheer? Are they going to go try to turn you against the very thing that threatens their paycheck? And I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm just telling you to think. Use the brain that God gave you. Stop letting commentators do your thinking for you, even the ones you like, especially the ones you like. I've fallen for that. They say never meet your heroes for a reason. People are going to disappoint you. The next headline I see today, okay? Someone tweets out that there were more Americans killed in Chicago this weekend than have been killed in 4 weeks of a war with Iran. You want me to say that again just in case you missed it? There were more Americans killed in Chicago this weekend than have been killed in 4 weeks of war with Iran. Let that sink in. Everybody, and I mean everybody on the internet right now, mourning Iranian casualties. And I'm not saying those lives don't matter. Every life matters. God created every single one of these people. But where is this energy for Chicago? Where is this energy for Detroit? For Baltimore? For the kids getting shot on their way to school in cities that have been run by the same people for 50 years? Blue cities. Nobody's posting little black squares for them. Nobody's making TikToks with sad music for the 13-year-old who got hit by a stray bullet on a Tuesday afternoon in Inglewood. Nobody's calling those politicians war criminals. And you know why? Because that grief doesn't serve a bullshit political agenda. That grief doesn't help you attack Trump, orange man, bad. The grief is inconvenient. And this is what I mean when I say the outrage is so selective. It's manufactured. They point you out your eyes where they want you to look so that you don't see what they don't want you to see. That is not conspiracy. This is media literacy. And you're called to have some discernment. And as believers, discernment is not optional for us. It is a commandment. Test every spirit. That doesn't mean test the spirits you already disagree with. That means test all of them, even the ones wearing your team's jersey. Right now, you want to know what's happening? The WEF wants to monetize breathing. Yes, breathing. Water, soil, and oxygen should not be infinitely accessible. They are assets that should be included in global economic balance sheets. The World Economic Forum is openly pushing to put the air you breathe on a corporate balance sheet. And this is why I can't shut up. This is why this podcast still exists. While everybody's arguing about Iran on Twitter, the WEF, they're sitting in a room in Davos telling you that the air you breathe should be on a corporate balance sheet. That water, the thing your body needs to survive, should not be infinitely accessible. Should not be infinitely accessible. That means someone somewhere gets to decide how much water you drink, how much air is yours, who gets oxygen and who doesn't. That is not a conspiracy theory. That is a quote from the WEF. These people said this out loud on camera at a panel. And I don't see any of these influencers talking about it because Iran's loud, because the outrage machine needs you focused over there so you don't see what's happening here. This is a game. This has always been a game. Keep the people distracted, keep them fighting each other, keep them scared, and while they're not looking, restructure the entire global economy underneath them. Okay? What is happening with Iran? You guys understand this isn't just about Iran. What is happening with the economy isn't just about tariffs. There is a fundamental restructuring happening right now. Whether you love Trump or hate him, you need to understand what American system versus British system really means. Because for decades, since World War II, the economy has run on a system that benefits a very small group of people at the top. Your central banks, I've talked about this before, your international financial institutions, trade agreements that gut the American middle class and ship our jobs overseas. That's the British system. That's the empire model, control from the top. The American system, the one Hamilton built, the one Lincoln used, and the one that Trump and his people are pushing right now is protectionist. It says we build here, we employ here, we don't let foreign banks dictate our monetary policy. That's what Peter Navarro is doing with trade. That's what Scott Bessent is doing at Treasury. And Iran is a piece of that puzzle. You cannot restructure global power without addressing the regimes that were propped up by the old system. The money that flowed to Iran didn't flow there by accident. It flowed there because it served that old structure. And now that it's being dismantled, yes, you guys, it's messy. Yes, it's scary. My son's going to the military this year, okay? Terrified. Asking him, "Are you sure?" This is terrifying. There's people's babies out there. But since when has God's deliverance ever been comfortable? Ever. And I know this is a lot. I know some of you are watching the news and you're scared. I know some of you are just confused about who to trust and what to believe. Welcome to the club. Here's what I know. And this isn't a theory, it's not a headline. This is the word. God is not the author of confusion. He is not asleep. He is not wringing his hands wondering what Trump is going to do next. He's not refreshing Twitter to see what else someone else is saying. Every single empire that has ever stood against God's people has fallen. Every pharaoh, and that's Iran is pharaoh right now, stubborn, has a Red Sea moment. And sometimes deliverance looks like destruction before it looks like freedom. The Israelites watched the plagues destroy Egypt and they were terrified. They stood at the edge of the sea with an army behind them and thought it was over, but it was not over. It was just the beginning. Y'all, I don't know what's coming next, but I know who holds it. And I know that my job, our job, is to stay awake and to stay discerning and to stay in the word and to refuse to let fear make us stupid. And that's it for today. That's Faith and Fire. That's God and Country. I'm Branden LaNette. If you guys are going to stick around here, do me a favor, share this. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And I love the reviews. I mean, please, written is amazing. Stars are cute, but like written is going to help me. Um, and let me know what you guys want more of. Is there a rabbit hole I'm missing? Is there another string I need to pull? We're in this together. Yeah, this is my show, but I can't keep doing this show without you guys. So thanks again for tuning in, and I will see you later.